In this video, we are going to look at how to paint a plain rock and turn it into one of these ladybirds, okay? Perfect. So I'm going to get started and I'm going to show you what you need. And this is what you will need. You'll need your paintbrushes, different sizes, your pencil, rubber, different paint. Obviously you can change the different colours of paint to your colour scheme. You'd want your palette, you'd want a bit of water, and then you'd want either tissue or a cloth to dry off your brush. And then at the end you'll want the Mod Podge, or you'd want one of these sealers for when you're finished. Okay, now one thing I do want to say, acrylic paint I find is the best for painting the stones, and it's more durable and lasts longer. Okay, so we'll get, and obviously you'll need your rock, a nice clean rock. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do with this rock is paint a white. The reason for this is when you do your coat of white, it makes whatever colours you're going to use, it brings them out nice and vibrant. If you didn't use it, the colour, it'd be very dark and you'd have to do a lot of layers to bring out the colour. So we're going to start off by painting this white. Let's go. And now I've finished painting. I paused and just finished painting the rock. So it's going to be nice and white. So what you'll do is you'll let that dry. And what I've done is, here's one I've done from earlier. So it's nice and dry. So here you're going to draw out your design and where you want the head, where you want the body. And then this would be a nice guideline to where to paint. Okay, so we're going to do this. Decide where you're going to paint. And if you're not happy, if it's not big enough or too small, you can always change it, and that's why you have rubber on hand as well. Okay, so I want this around here. Now realistically I want the eyes, when I do paint it, I want the eyes to be around here. So I know this, the head is nice and big, okay. And then this is where I'm going to put the tail. So this is the center here. So I'm just going to try and line it up. And use with my pencil, I'm going to draw a nice line. Okay. Now remember, this is it's just a guideline, and if you paint over, it doesn't matter too much. If you're using a nice bright colour and you actually want to see the pencil, so you know where then to put the black paint where you do the lining, or the darker colour, it will show up in some of the paint. Okay, so there's my design and where I want stuff to be. Now I'm going to, so after I've done the pencil, I'm going to start painting the body blue. I've chosen blue just to be different. So you will see slightly that there is a pencil mark here which will guide you. Now I've finished painting the blue. You can do as many layers, you can do another layer if you wanted to, but to see how nice and vibrant the blue is coming out over the white. So we're going to let that'll dry off. So now I'm actually going to, while that blue is drying, I'm going to actually paint the black. Now obviously I've gone a little bit over the edge, but that doesn't really matter. I painted the colour first purposely, so if I did go slightly over with the colour onto the white, it doesn't really matter too much. The black will easily cover it up. So now I'm going to paint on the black. Now I've finished painting the stone black and blue. So now, and I've let it dry as well. So this is the next step. The next step is get your pencil, and you are going to draw a line from here to here. So what you could do is you could easily draw it freehand, or if you had a bit of card or something. So I'm going to get a bit of card or a piece of paper just to guide me. So I'm going to just grab an old piece of envelope, and if you get the edge of it here, and you line it up to where you want it to go, you just, so if you can see here, if you line it up, so if you're happy here and here are the center points, just get the piece of paper or a bit of old envelope or an old piece of paper and just sort of curve it around to where you want it to go. Okay, like so. Then you're going to get your pencil. So just line it up, get your pencil, and the thing is, just go lightly around it. Now, see, doesn't matter if you fall off it, it's fine. And then you're just going to, okay, so there you go. You have got your pencil line. If you can see it, the light might be slightly bad. You can just go over it again by hand, just to darken it up. And there you go, there's your line going down, if you can see that. So that's going to be the center line. And then I'm going to put in the eye. So I'm going to draw everything where I want to paint. So I'm going to put the eyes in. Thing is, I can go make them bigger if I want. And then I'm going to go center over here and draw the eyes again here. And just, that's the handy thing about a pencil. Okay, so that's, I'm going to get the white paint and I'm going to go over this pencil mark. So now I've got the line going down the back, I've got the two eyes, and now I'm going to get the spots in. Okay, I'm going to put the black spots in. So draw where I want them to go. Now I would sometimes use a marker, but thing is, if you make a mistake with a marker, the paint doesn't really cover up, it's harder to cover up the mistake. Sometimes you have to just keep painting and painting. So I'm not sure if you can see this, the pencil line. Okay, so I'm going to do one here, so you can put the spots wherever you want. Okay, so I'm just going to go zigzag. I'm not sure if you can see this, can you? If you can, I hope the light is good. So you can see that, okay. And then over here I'm going to do roughly the same on this side as well. Alright. So put the spots where, it doesn't have to be too heavy. You can get a heavier pencil as well if you wanted to, if you're not too happy if you can't see it. But just want it nice and light. It's more of a guideline than anything, okay? Alright, so then we have the little spots there, and you can just keep adding to how many you want, whether it's a 6, 7, 8 spot, okay? Perfect. And then you're going to get your smaller paintbrush or the black ones, and you're going to colour in the circles, okay? So I'm going to do that now. Now I'm just finishing off the last dot. I'm just sort of going in circles, and just take your time. There's no rush doing these. Now if you wanted to find something like that has a round edge, and you could just dip it in the paint and put the dots around, you can do that as well, okay? So that's a little tip. Or if you had something circular and then just use a pencil to draw around it, you could use something like the top of that. But I'm just going to do it, I'm doing it freestyle, okay? Now, as I'm drawing this or painting onto these, you can use whatever colour you want. This is more of a guideline. And if you wanted to give it a little white collar, like in this one here, I've given a nice white collar just to bring it out, okay? Or if you just wanted to leave it plain again, like so. Okay, so now I'm going to do the eyes. And I'm actually going to do the line at the back. And I'm going to use a really thin paintbrush. Now you can get all these different paintbrushes in places like The Range, Deals, Works. They all have great value for all these little things. Okay, so I'm just going to get my line, and just take your time. So now I've finished off painting the white line, or the black line, sorry, the line on the back of the ladybird. So now I've done all that. Now I'm going to paint the eyes. So I'm just going to get a paintbrush and just start painting. Now I'm just going to finish off the eyes. You can just take your time. And then I'm just going to finish this off here, and then I'm going to let it dry and then put in the last bit of paint. Okay. Now I've put in the white dots and for the eyes. Now we're gonna, and I've let it dry. So now the last little touches, I'm just going to put the black little dots inside for the eyes to finish it off. So, and the last little dot for the eyes. So there it is there, and if you wanted to add a smile or anything you can. I'm not going to do it now on this one. And here's an example of with a little smile as well. Alright, so you let this dry. When it's dry, now you don't have to do it, but it gives it a nice finish. You could either use this sort of glue sealer finish called Mod Podge, and you just paint it on. It's white in here, and then it gives it a nice glaze. If you don't want to use that, you can also use these sprays here, clear. It's sort of a gloss clear sealer, and same with this one. There's different types of brands, which is great. So then if you did put it outside, it would last through the weather, and it would last a bit longer, and it gives it this nice lovely shine finish. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed the video, and thank you. And oh, here's a few more stone examples that I've done. This is a stone I found in my back garden, and it's a fish. You can do a bumblebee. There's so many options. You could give over the pandemic, I was leaving out stones with little words and sayings. You see, so you can do whatever you want. Okay, so all right, I hope you enjoyed the video, and be creative. Bye.